Hey, Garage Logic fans, MISCHKE here, slipping in ever so briefly to mention that I have a podcast that comes out every Wednesday and every Friday, twice a week now. The show is pretty much about everything you care about and are interested in and need in your life and want to know more about. I tailored the darn thing specifically to your liking. I tailored it to your loves, to your true passions. That took a long time. I'm spent. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely wasted.
What can 160 years of experience teach you about the future? When it comes to protecting what matters, Pacific Life provides life insurance, retirement income, and employee benefits for people and businesses building a more confident tomorrow. Strategies rooted in strength and backed by experience. Ask a financial professional how Pacific Life can help you today. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York. Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
MISCHKE!
Well, what do you say we make a phone call? See what's going on in listener land. Sure, I'll make that call.
Don't touch that phone. Don't touch that phone.
Will somebody please get that phone?
Hello?
Howdy ho, Dan.
Oh, my lordy. It's MISCHKE.
In the flesh.
You caught me in Target. What's going on with you?
It's awfully quiet there in Target. Is that one of the ones going out of business?
You know, they never really play music at Target, do they?
I don't even hear human beings.
I do see a couple of moms, and...
Did you just say a couple of moms?
Well, that would be my presumption by what's in the cart.
What do they have?
Area rugs, and...
Hey, plenty of single women are buying those.
That's a valid point. How about candles?
No, that's a woman who's expecting a fun date this weekend. Will you ask them if they're moms?
I don't want to chase someone down in Target, chasing women around Target going, hey, can you get on the phone here?
No, but if you're going to chase a woman down in Target, isn't it fun that the reaction you're going to be getting is to the question, are you a mom? Because out of all the things they're expecting when they get chased down, they're not expecting that. Here's the fun part. You start chasing them, and they start running. So now you got a real chase. So they're running, and they're trying to get away. They're moving through different sections, home furnishings, the women's clothing section. You're chasing them, and then you catch them by the greeting cards. They're screaming, and then you come up to them and say, are you a mom?
I have a general rule in life, and it's to try to stay out of jail.
What are you doing at Target?
Setting things up for a new office. I've been working at home for 22 years, and it's getting a little hard keeping things together as far as being there all the time. And so I'm just trying to get things set up there.
You went and got yourself a separate office.
Yes.
You're renting a place. After years of being at home, you're going to have a real place to go to every day.
Yeah, well, you know, when you're always at home and you're trying to work and you have an 8-year-old and you're trying to get stuff done, it's kind of hard to be the guy always saying, I'm working, I'm sorry, you know.
And now you're furnishing it with items found at Target. Target is going to make your office look like everybody else's office. I'd start at a thrift store, maybe go to Facebook Marketplace.
You know what? I'll pick up some accent pieces down at the Salvation Army in Minneapolis. How about that?
You know what you do? You grab those scented candles out of that woman's shopping cart.
And end up getting arrested again. You know, you're good at this.
The Target employee, the average one that you see, do they look happy? Do you think they're living their best life?
I'm not sure.
When you think about going back to the days of the peasantry in medieval times, and you imagine going up to someone and saying, "Are you living your best life? I'm Oprah Winfrey. Hi."
The majority, I would say, take what they can get and try to make the best of it.
Do you think in the Dark Ages you would have ever come up to someone and overheard them telling themselves little affirmations?
Oh, yeah.
Really? I'm healthy and happy, and I'm worth loving.
Well, I don't know if they would have been positive affirmations. Well, so affirmations, yeah.
Where they were saying things like, I can be anything I want to be.
We're talking the peasantry.
Dad told me I can be anything I want to be.
Dad wouldn't have said that.
What do you do for a living?
Produce music.
Really?
Been doing it for 25 years.
You've been producing music out of your house?
Yes.
When you say you produce music, what do you mean?
Ad agencies, music libraries, things like that. Commercials, background music on TV shows, things like that.
Huh.
Sometimes it's a custom job where people say, hey, we need something like this. Can you do that by Tuesday? And sometimes it's, hey, let's do an R&B uplifting female vocal album.
There was a 16-year-old girl I interviewed several years ago. She was hoping to one day be a star. She wanted to make it in the music business, but she was 16 years old, and I interviewed her, and she played some songs for me. I think we were in southern Minnesota on some farm, and she played some songs that she was working on. Lovely young woman, and I kind of forgot about her. The years went by. I think it's been 12 years. And I just found out yesterday she's opening up for Stevie Nicks.
Oh, come on. See, it takes time. You start working and you learn the ropes, and you have varying levels of success over the years. Things go up, things go down, and it's just a matter of can you stay in the game. Most of the people that I came up with are, the majority kind of get pushed out into driving grain cart, which is fine. Got to make money.
I was worried that this woman's dream wouldn't come true. How many people try to make it, waiting tables while they're waiting for their ship to come in? Her name back then was Anna Marie Mitchell. She was just a kid. Here's a little snippet of our interview from years ago.
First, second, third grade, I would write stories all the time. I've always loved writing stories. And when I was about maybe 7, I started my first song, I think called like The Moon and Sun or something. And then my first song that I played at my school was in 4th grade, and that song was called Minnesota. 10,000 lakes and prairies within the valley of the Sawtooth Mountains. I know this is my home.
It's called Minnesota. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, she grew up. 3 years or so after that interview, when she was a young woman, I had written a song that I wanted her to record. She was down in Nashville at the time, again, trying to make it, hustling, doing what she could to build some kind of career, something with some staying power. I asked her if she'd record a song of mine. I was thinking of putting together an album with different people singing different songs I had written, and she agreed to sing this one. I wrote this song in Montana for my wife. We were out there traveling, and while we were out there, she had a birthday, and I woke her up in the morning singing this song. The idea for the song came about when I thought about the different kinds of thoughts we all have in a given day, in a given week, month, year. Some are silly thoughts. Some are stupid thoughts. Some are just thoughts designed to get you through the day. Sometimes you have mean thoughts. But every now and then you have a pure thought, a thought that seems to separate itself from the rest in its purity. And I found myself thinking one afternoon, what happens to those thoughts? Do those go to a different place than the thoughts you have about the ache in your back, or the thoughts you have about the guy on the highway cutting you off in traffic? I mean, this is assuming thoughts do something after one thinks the thought. They're invisible, but it doesn't mean they don't move about. We don't know. I thought maybe the really beautiful thoughts we have go somewhere special, that they rise up above the others, and maybe continue to rise, and rise, and rise, and rise. Maybe there's such wonderful thoughts, they end up in heaven. I realize I was having a little fantasy experience here, but a songwriter gets to have that. And then I found myself thinking, maybe when I die, I'll drift up and join those thoughts somewhere. Maybe I'll find them all the good thoughts, gathered together somewhere up there in the sky. I might have been having a couple of beers that day, I don't remember. But my imagination got going. I even thought about having a dream where I could fly and I could go with the thoughts up there. And I pictured the moon looking at me, saying, "What the hell you doing there, pal?" And I'd have to explain what I'm doing, taking these thoughts up to the sky. I never really liked the way I sang the song, so I always had this idea in my head of finding some woman with a beautiful voice to sing it. I don't know why I always think of getting women to sing songs. I never think about having a man sing a song. I don't like the sound of men's voices as much as I do women's voices. I've rarely heard a woman's voice that I don't like in song. I liked Anna Marie Mitchell's voice. Anyway, she came back from Nashville one time, and I kind of caught her in between trips to the airport, and she recorded this song for me. This was her singing Thoughts of You way back when.
Thought about you on a back road in Montana, and my the thought rose high above the crazy mountains and touched the big sky. And if it's drifting still, I swear it will find its way to heaven by and by. I've been thinking about you. Some days it's all I get around to. When my days here are all through, maybe I'll drift too, with those thoughts of you. Thought about you on a river in the dark as I lay down by the fire. Smoke rising high above me, thoughts of you rising and higher. Sailing away until the day they found a place in the angel choir. I've been thinking about you. Some days it's all I ever do. When my doing days here are all through, maybe I'll drift too, with those thoughts of you. Thought about you in a dream where it seemed suddenly I could fly. Now those thoughts couldn't leave me, and I rode with them into the sky. Pretty soon that old man in the moon, he was looking at me and asking why. I said, old man, these thoughts belong under God's watchful eye. 'Cause I've been thinking about you. It seems it's the best thing that I do. When my days around here are all through, hope I drift too with those thoughts of you.
And now this month I learn she's opening up for Stevie Nicks. And she now goes under the name Anna Graves. Bradshaw and Bryant, a law firm. Sounds solid, doesn't it? You get injured because of someone's recklessness or carelessness, or someone just being a moron, lunkhead, dunderpate, mooncalf. You get injured and you want compensation. You want to balance the scales of justice. You could go to Splicklyberg and Hicklemeyer, but that doesn't sound solid. Bradshaw and Bryant, that sounds solid, and they are. They seek justice for the injured, and they get it because they're solid. They're not Plinkly Sis and Puttermilk. That law firm stinks. I've been there. First of all, you walk in, and the whole place is covered in little doilies. And these people come out in Barney costumes. I mean, I'm running for the car then and there. Take me to Bradshaw and Bryant. Solid. Don't go with Tinkleman and Piddlespit. Go with Bradshaw and Bryant. Learn more at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Football season is going hot and heavy, and Underdog is the best place to get into the game and get in on all the action. Best part of Underdog? How easy it is to play. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and lots more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at Josh Jacobs, picking him to go higher for touchdowns, and it seems like Matthew Stafford is always a good pick to go higher on passing yards. Download the app today, sign up with the promo code GARAGE to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code GARAGE. Underdog, make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
If you have a grandparent, a parent, a spouse with dementia or Alzheimer's, and you're looking for a memory care center, you want to be careful. You want to make sure that you tour more than one facility. You want to compare. You want to see what's out there. All I ever ask is that you tour the Welshire. Your decision will be easy after that, because there's only one place that makes a specialty of taking care of your loved one. The specialty is memory care and memory care only, including breaking it down into the 4 stages your loved one will go through. Each stage involves a specialty. You ought to see the facility in Bloomington and Medina that is the Welshire. It's stunningly beautiful, wonderfully appointed. If you make sure to compare, if you make sure to tour more than one facility, the Welshire will stand head and shoulders above the rest.
I'm curious about you. I've always suspected that you record and produce the music for your show.
Not exactly. The opening theme is a song I wrote, and one that I obviously sing on. People have heard it. The musicians were a host of different people. The drummer and bass player on that song, on that opening theme song, that's my stepsons. They're playing drums and bass. And then the guitar player for that great guitar lick, guitar lead, that was a local musician who's quite phenomenal, I think, named Chris Castino.
Well, do you ever play at the Dakota? I'd like to come see you sometime.
You know, it's a funny thing. I have stage fright when I play, pretty serious, and it's been getting worse as the years go by. It doesn't get better. That really surprised me. I assumed it'd go the other way. But it gets worse to the point where my hands and my voice start to shut down. They start to do whatever they want to do, and they don't let me in on what that is. So I came up with this idea recently of having a concert on this show, because I don't have stage fright when I do this show because I can't see anybody. So I thought about doing a concert on this show sometime this winter. I think I'll do a concert where the whole show is just a concert I would have given if I were out there somewhere in the world. But since I'm too afraid out there, because I used to play. I used to have gigs, and in my 20s I was playing regularly around town. But somehow, some way, it got worse and worse and worse to the point where it wasn't any fun anymore. While it's incredibly enjoyable to play when I'm not around other people. So I came up with this idea of maybe just having the concert on the show and see how that goes.
Yeah.
I have a feeling not only will it be fun to play, but it'll feel much like this show. This show feels very enjoyable to do. It doesn't have any feel at all about being something I'm doing for anybody listening. I have no sense of a listener. I have no sense of anybody being out there.
Oddly enough, that's the way I would describe your show, and I think that's what people like about it.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm glad I got a hold of you, and I'm glad you threw your name on the list. This is one of my favorite parts of the show, is getting a hold of people out there. It was something I thought was gone forever once I moved to podcasting, but its return to the show has been a delight. So thanks for answering.
Oddly enough, I just finished your most recent podcast a couple hours ago, so I didn't have any trouble recognizing your voice. How about that?
Well, all my best to you in your new office, and I hope you get a hell of a lot more work done. Not only that, I hope you come home a happier man, because now home is just for hanging with family.
That's the goal here, so yeah. I appreciate that. Good talking to you, Mischke.
You
Thanks
too.
for the call.
So long.
Yes.
Is this Mark?
Are you kidding me?
I don't joke about these sorts of things.
Well, what a pleasure. I just signed on to get your call, from you. I'm a new-time listener to your podcast. I remember hearing you, KSTP on something when I was 20 years ago, and then you kind of disappeared on me, and I was busy and never found you. But my brother-in-law turned me on to you, and I thought, wow, you've got some great shows there, sir.
Thank you very much. You know, a lot of people who listen to this here podcast think I disappeared in December of 2008 when I got fired from KSTP. The number of people who have told me they had no idea where I went after I was bounced off the air unceremoniously in December of 2008. There are people who think I simply wandered the country aimlessly, lost, drinking out of a brown paper bag.
Did you?
So you have no idea what I've done since December of 2008.
We parted paths, and I wouldn't know what you did, and I was busy too. So what did you do then there, Mr. Mischke?
Well, I did a lot. 2008 was a long time ago. It's 2025. I'll just start with that Monday morning after getting fired, and we'll go from there. I woke up, about 7:30, made some coffee. My wife was in the kitchen, and we talked about her day. I could go on, but I'm not sure it would be entertaining. The number of people who have emailed or texted saying, Mishke, you're back. Where did you go? Last I heard, you were on noon to 2 at KSTP, and then suddenly you were gone. Said in the newspaper, they canned your ass. But that couldn't be true because now you're working for them again.
Yeah, what gives?
What does give? It went like this, Mark. The day after I got fired, I got a call from WCCO. So I visited Minneapolis. And the general manager there, Mick Anselmo, said to me, you don't have a no-compete clause in your contract with KSTP, do you? And I said, you're darn right I do, Mick. Is that going to be a problem? And he said to me, we're done here. Talk to me in a year. We'd love to have you. Yeah, there was a 1-year no-compete clause in my contract. For 1 year, I had to stay out of the radio biz, at least in the Twin Cities. I could head out to San Diego or Charlotte or Bangor, Maine. But you see, I lived here. I had a family here. So to honor that contract, I had to wait a year before I could work in radio. I had to think about what I was going to do for a whole year. I had always wanted to be a columnist, a newspaper columnist. That's what the old man was. So I went over to City Pages, and I became a columnist. They also built me a studio in my office in St. Paul, and I did a daily podcast for City Pages before anybody really knew what the devil a podcast was. 2 hours every single day. Did I have any callers? No, because it wasn't radio. It was podcasting. People listen after the fact. Now, I even had a phone installed in my studio, thinking maybe somehow someone will be listening live. Nope. Everybody waited until after the show to listen. There was no reason to listen live. I never received a single call, except from bill collectors. Bill collectors. Yes, that phone number I got for that studio used to belong to ne'er-do-wells, to people who didn't pay their bills. And the phone would ring during the show, and I would so hope it was a listener, but it was not. It was a bill collector. And it went like this.
My name is Claire, and I'm calling you on behalf of Credit One Bank. And the reason for my call is to say thank you for being a valued customer of Credit One for a long time.
You're so very welcome. I've enjoyed working with Credit One so much. In fact, my mother originally got me started with them and her mother before her, and we've been delighted with the service from the very beginning. In fact, I had wanted to send you something as a way of showing my gratitude. Could I get your address?
Would you mind to listen to me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be angry. Sometimes I interrupt because I get excited and I get real interested in talking to people.
Are you still residing at 1594 Chase Avenue, St. Paul?
Yes. Have you been here? It's a beautiful Tudor home. In fact, my grandfather helped my father build it. We still live in it. It's lovely. I'm sorry. I get talking. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Right now, I'd like to tape record this call to avoid any mistakes on my part. And
I get nervous when it's recorded. Do I have to say certain things in a certain way? I stutter.
No.
Sometimes I stutter.
For quality purposes only.
Okay. Is there a camera too? I haven't put on my makeup. Is there a camera?
My name is Claire, and again, that completes.
Spell that for me, please. How do you spell that?
Clare. Clear.
Oh.
Will you please stop?
Oh, don't be mad.
Would you mind to listen?
Oh,
listen.
Ow.
Complete the required information about your product.
Okay.
Listen.
My name is Dwight Williams, and I'm calling from DKA.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason behind giving you a call is that your account with Household has been forwarded to my office with an outstanding balance of $1,654.15.
That's a lot of money.
How do you intend to take care of this bill, ma'am?
Magic.
Sorry?
I have recently hooked up with a group. They're Wiccans. They can conjure things with potions and spells, and they can help make this go away. with magic.
Wiccan?
Wiccan. Wiccan. And they have all sorts of potions and spells and black magic that makes problems go away.
I can go and close up this account at a one small payment.
Let's close it out. Let's see if we can close it out.
How much of the money do you think you can pay
all
today?
of it. All of it.
All right. So how do you think you'll make the payment? Through your checking account?
I'm trying right now. I'm trying something now. Is the debt still there?
Ma'am, it won't be there if you make the payment of $992.42.
In your world, that's how people operate. In mine, we do this.
What?
I'm trying something right now. Now wait and see if it works.
Are you doing the same thing what you said, Wiccan?
Wiccan is a belief system. What I am doing is utilizing tools I've been given.
How do you want to take care of this account? So your checking account or your debit card?
Do you take magic cards? Would you take a squirrel tail?
I'm sorry?
No apologies needed. You've done nothing wrong. You've been a perfect gentleman.
We're trying to settle this account at $992.49.
Make it $666 and we have a deal.
666?
Yes.
It's a devil's number.
Don't say that!
Sorry?
No need to apologize. You've been a perfect gentleman.
So may I have the name as it exactly appears in your debit card?
Okay, the name is Atticus Finch.
Sorry?
No need to apologize. You've been a perfect gentleman.
I'm not apologizing.
Oh, sorry.
I am not able to understand you properly.
My name is Atticus Finch.
Let's go ahead and settle this account at 666. May I have your debit card number, please?
Yes, 5732 4416 8737 2428.
And when does it expire?
909.
Why don't you turn it on? You tell there will be a 3-digit CVV number. May I have the number, please?
Yes, 046.
046?
Yeah.
All right, and you have the funds available today in your card?
Damn right I do.
All right, this is an invalid card number.
Damn it! Damn it to hell! I was given that by a guy on the street just a week ago, and he said it worked perfectly well. I gave him $7.
Is there any other card that you want to use for this transaction?
Yes, my YMCA card.
Your YMCA card?
Ideally, if that would work.
Let me have the card number, please.
Yes. 1436.
I'm sorry, sir. This card number won't work. And the card number should start with 54.
How do you know what YMCA card should start with?
We only accept a card with a Visa or a Master logo.
Well, then you don't even accept YMCA cards. I'll tell you what, I'll go with AAA.
AAA? May I have the card number, please?
Yep. 8686.
I'm sorry, sir. This is not a Master or a Visa card.
No, it's a AAA card. Why are you torturing me? I say I want to use a card. I start to give you the number, and you say no. And
Sir,
then
do you really want to settle this account at 666?
Why do you keep saying that number?
Stop screaming now.
All right.
All right?
All right.
May I have the information, please?
Which information you're looking for?
May I have the card number, please?
And which card? I gave you the card number of the only card you take, which is a card I purchased for $7. You say you can't use that card. Then I have other cards that are perfectly valid, and in fact mine. I didn't buy them on the street.
The card number that you're providing. Let me have the card number once again.
I think I need to speak to your supervisor immediately.
Sure. Allow me a moment. Let me just transfer this call. All right? Allow me a moment.
All right.
I'll make you speak with him right now. Hello?
Hi.
This is Stephen Hawk from TNK. I'm one of the managers. You gave out the card number to one of my associates. Could you re-verify the card numbers to me, sir?
4287.
Yeah.
3657. 9897. And 2277.
not also appear to be an invalid card.
What's the point of owning any of them if they're not legal tender? They hand them out to we commoners, we the great unwashed, the rabble, the rank and file, the masses, the plebeians, the herd, and they want us to buy! And then we do, and the debt grows, and then we want to pay the debt with the same card, and they say, sorry, invalid!
Do you have any of the card that you can use out?
Let me see. I have a Hallmark card.
Does it have a Visa or Master logo?
No, it has a clever little greeting.
Sorry?
No need to apologize. You've been a perfect gentleman. Josh Arnold. Josh Arnold. I wish I had a name like that. Josh Arnold. I just want to sit down with a guy like that and talk to him about life. And Josh Arnold offers you 48 minutes free on the phone. 952-925-5608. You ever sit down on the phone and talk to Josh Arnold for 48 minutes? He'll square you away. He'll get you thinking straight about your money, about your future, about investments, about retirement. It won't cost you a penny, and afterward you'll say, I'd like to work a little more with this guy, this Josh Arnold. Guy's been at this 40 years. Boy, was I impressed with his knowledge. That guy's no dummy. He can help me. He can help my family. He can make life better for me. Josh Arnold. Give him a call. Tell him where you heard about him.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security and investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. Tommy MISCHKE is a paid endorser.
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, block parties, they're all back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Whether you're into basketball, football, hockey, or any sport in between, Underdog is the best place to play, and playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, and many more. Get your picks right, you could win up to 5,000 times your money. Austin Reeves, I've been picking him a lot this year. He's been good at everything. Points, assists, you name it. So I'll be looking at Austin Reeves to go higher in points and assists. Download the app today and use promo code GARAGE to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code GARAGE. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
I've been talking about Minneapolis St. Paul Plumbing, Heating, and Air for a few weeks now. But for years before I started talking about them, I was using them. They were my plumber. They were my air conditioning guy. They were my heating guy. They took care of my furnace. They took care of the ductwork. Years before I ever started doing ads for them, they were my guy. Minneapolis St. Paul Plumbing, Heating, and Air. I didn't pick them because they happened to do ads for me. I picked them because they were the best. I liked the guys who came to my door. I liked how I never had any problems afterward, that when they fixed something, it stayed fixed. I liked how they advised me, how they saved me money, how they gave me great insight. I liked how much they cared about me. They became my guys, and I can't imagine going anywhere else. And if you ever call MSP and have them over to your house, you'll find out why. Minneapolis St. Paul Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And right now your account is 59 days past due.
Yeah.
So in order to avoid fees and get your account back in good standing, we can accept a debit card for payment today, madam.
Yeah, I can't pay because I recently joined a new group. It's sort of a religion, but they just use bartering now. And so I'm just using bartering.
Okay.
If you want me to do something for you...
Oh, is it like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you don't receive any cash?
Oh, no. We barter. We trade services. We trade things. Sometimes chickens.
Okay, ma'am, I can understand your situation, but Unfortunately, you're running out of time on this account, and you're scheduled to go to an outside collection agency.
I have 3 chickens, Rhode Island Red, Silver Lace Wyandotte, and Black Astorlorp. Those are 3 hardy breeds, and you could have all 3 of those.
I'm sorry, madam. We will not take chickens.
Have you seen the chickens, though? Maybe you should wait and see them.
Even if you bring over the chicken, madam, I don't think Credit One Bank will allow that to take place because that's not our procedure.
Okay, chickens, and then I have 3 rabbits, too, and they can be pets or food.
I'm sorry, madam, I cannot take that. What I can do for you is I could set up a minimum payment.
The man who is in charge of the religion I'm in, who says I can only use bartering now, he's here. Can I ask him if it's okay to pay you?
Yes.
Hello, this is Guru Paul. You will not take rabbits and chickens?
No, we do not take chickens and rabbits.
All right, here's the situation. We are in a cult where we just deal in trade, bartering of services and goods.
Credit One Bank will not take chickens and rabbits.
How about you make it sound like she's paying in chickens, but in fact, it'll be a debit card payment. It'll be by debit card, but the whole time she'll be thinking she's paying you in chickens, but the debit card will in fact cover this.
Okay, how much is the debit card for? I'm going to make it for.
Well, we're going to pay the whole thing, but when we say we're paying the whole thing, we want to be able to say chickens, even though it's coming out of the debit card as cash.
Okay, so do you have your debit card details?
Yeah, it's right here, but here's the situation. You need to say at least that it's chickens, so it sounds like it's chickens. Otherwise, in our religion, we get in trouble with the deity.
Okay, 60 chickens.
60 chickens?
Yes, 60 chickens. That means I'm going to pay $60.
Well, there you're using that word again.
Oh,
See,
sorry,
we just about had it set, and then you use that word. Now
sorry.
I gotta get that out of my head. We're not talking money, Let's try again.
Okay. You owe right now 438 chickens.
It was 60 chickens a minute ago.
That was the minimum chicken.
Can we just say, because there's no way we'd have 400 chickens, can we just say 60 chickens minimum?
Yeah.
Otherwise, 400 and whatever
38.
rabbits.
438 rabbits. All right. Okay.
So I have to ask her what she wants to pay, 60 chickens or 432 rabbits?
Yes.
All right, hang on.
Okay.
You got 2 choices. You pay 60 rabbits, 432 chickens. I mean, wait a minute, I got that backwards. You got 60 chickens, 432 rabbits. What do you want to pay? I don't have all the rabbits. I have the chickens.
Okay, let's go ahead and make that.
Okay.
Okay, do you have your debit card?
Do I have my what?
Debit card?
You just said it was chickens.
Yes. So how are you going to make it?
The chickens. Didn't you just ask for that? Didn't you just ask for chickens?
Yeah, but you said not to say the word dollars, right? You said chicken instead of dollars.
Did Guru Paul say that?
Yeah. Okay, madam, what I'm going to do is I will note on your account that you're unwilling to pay at this time. So please understand your failure to pay could result in an intense collection activity, and you will continue to receive late fees and over credit limit fees.
Okay, I'll pay.
Are you going to pay it now?
Yes, but when I read you the debit card just before, I do need you to say that it's monkeys. We're paying in what again?
60 monkeys.
All right. 6463.
6463.
4977.
4977.
3328.
3328.
1462.
1462.
Expiration date 909.
909. Okay, let me just update on the systems. Hold on.
Do you have any animals?
No.
What animals do you like?
I like dogs.
Do you have some?
Not now.
You had to pay somebody, didn't you? When you lost your dog, it was because you were squaring a debt.
I didn't lose it.
Oh, you said you used to have a dog.
Yeah, but it's passed away now.
Well, then it's no good. You can't trade those. Except to my cousin Carl. He likes them.
Okay, madam, there's a processing fee. Can I add that processing fee up to your account right now on your debit card?
Okay, if you'll say that the processing fee is cats.
Okay, yeah, it's cats.
Okay.
Okay, 995 cats.
All right.
Okay.
How much have I given you now altogether?
$69.95.
$69.95 what?
Monkeys.
Plus we added the cats.
Okay, that's $9.95 cats.
Now what's happening?
I'm just entering into my systems. Just hold on.
Putting them in the cages, you mean?
Yes.
Hello?
Just entering it on the systems. Hold on.
You mean in the cages?
Yeah, in the cages. Sorry. Okay, it does not go in.
Open the cage door.
Is this a joint card?
No, it's a zoo.
Okay, you have given your credit card details, but I cannot make a payment through credit card. Do you have your debit card?
Oh, yeah, I have a debit card too.
Okay, can I have that number, please?
Okay. Can we make it turtles?
Okay.
Okay, 6371
6371
4498
4498
2202
2202
6464
6464.
And the expiration date is 1209.
Okay, I'm putting it on the cages. Hold on.
What are you putting in the cages?
The numbers.
No, the turtles.
Turtles, okay.
Are the cages in a special place? Where are they?
Right in front of me. Okay, madam, there's a problem with your debit card. The system is not going through. Do you have your checking account details?
I have a cage in the basement with some things in it, but I don't even know what those are. We got them from a guy in Bangladesh. You want those? Paul, let out the animals in the basement.
Hello?
Yeah, Paul's getting the animals out of the basement.
Do you have your routing number and the account number?
Well, they're going to go right up the stairs, the same route they always take. Just a second. Paul, bring up the animals. Here they come.
I don't know, madam. If I need your routing number and the account number so that I can set it up on the system.
I don't understand. We were just dealing with animals.
Yes, but the routing number and your checking account details, madam.
That doesn't sound like animals. What you're talking about now doesn't sound like animals.
Okay, do you have a checking account?
No.
No?
Do you like butterflies?
No.
How can anyone not like butterflies? Do you like black bear?
Yes, madam.
American pressure wants to come to me. American pressure, you're what I need. I use pressure washers at my company, but they're breaking down. Can you help me? Oh, American pressure. When I say American pressure, I think of all the businesses out there using pressure washers. And I think, you lucky dogs, you get to deal with American Pressure of Robbinsdale. I mean, you walk into their operation, you learn everything about pressure washers, and there's so much to know and learn. It's an extraordinary world, the world of pressure washers. The variety, the options, the different tools. If you use pressure washers and you've never been to American Pressure, all I have to say is you are missing out. You start talking to them and you say, hey, am I going to the University of Pressure Washers? You sure are. American Pressure, won't you come to me? EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake and Burnsville. EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake and Burnsville. They're clearing out their e-bikes 50% off. EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake and Burnsville. You folks hoping to have an e-bike to ride next spring. E-bikes at EcoFun Motorsports are starting at $899. The manufacturer's suggested retail price on these e-bikes is $1,899. Fat tire e-bikes for snow, normally $2,299. Now just $1,199. Mountain full suspension e-bikes, MSRP on those $5,699. $19.99 right now at EcoFun Motorsports. And there's a MISCHKE podcast special. Buy an e-bike, get 50% off an upgraded seat. Those can be expensive. You'll get 50% off an upgraded bike seat by mentioning the show. That offer is good until the end of the year. The EcoFun Motorsports e-bike sale. If you want to enjoy an e-bike this winter or next spring, there's no place in this region with a better deal right now. EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake and Burnsville. After a year of doing a 2-hour podcast every day and only hearing from bill collectors, I closed up that show, drove on over to Minneapolis, and once again sat down with Mick Anselmo. He immediately hired me to do a radio show at WCCO. And for the next 4 years, that's what I did. Until one day I said, enough. Enough. I do not want to do a daily radio show anymore. I had been doing it since 1992, and I was done. So with 2 days' notice, I let the folks at WCCO know it was time to retire from radio. By this time, podcasting was becoming a thing, and I started the MISCHKE Road Show. I jumped in a vehicle, and I traveled the country for years, visiting people from all walks of life, having wondrous adventures, and producing these 1-hour podcasts called The MISCHKE Road Show. After 11 years of that, I hit the wall. I was tired of traveling. I was ready to stay home. I wanted a simpler, quieter life. Lo and behold, right about that time, Dan Seaman takes me out to lunch. The big shot over here at Hubbard Broadcasting. He asked if I would consider joining their podcasting network. Well, I live 3.5 minutes from Hubbard Broadcasting, and they had a fine studio waiting for me. Top-notch equipment, ad salespeople, a producer, promotional help. I said to Dan, "Did you check with the Hubbards? They did fire me several years ago. You better make sure they want me back." So Dan said, "Sit tight." There I was at Key's Cafe with my coffee. Dan shoots out the door, goes and visits with the Hubbards. Comes back later. Food's cold. I'm late for a couple other things I got to get to, but he says, "All good, you're in." I said, "Okay, guess the career is going to end where it began. That's fitting. I started out with the Hubbards, and it'll end with the Hubbards. This'll be my last gig." And here I sit.
Well, I'm glad you're back. Earlier this summer, my favorite brother-in-law said, have you ever heard of Tom MISCHKE? And I said, yeah, I did. And then he said, well, he's got podcasts now. And I've been listening to him quite a bit.
So why did you want to be on the caller list?
I just think it's pretty cool how you call the different people and I enjoy listening to what they have to say and add. And you're pretty comical and you're pretty, you have some good insight and satire too at times.
What intrigues me about people who are on the list is rarely do I find that they want to say anything to me. Usually I'm just peppering them with questions. They don't really have anything particular they want to get to involving me or this show or anything else. I just ask them questions. Now, you could say that's normal. I'm the one calling. But every now and then I think someone who wants to be on the list wants to be on the list because they want to say something.
Oh, no, I don't think other than what you pepper me with the questions. But,
yeah. I mean, if I were to say to you right now, we'll never talk again between now and my death, is there anything at all about me you would like to know?
Yes. Do you think there is an afterlife?
I have been swayed by the people who have had near-death experiences. Those have been the ones that have been the most effective in convincing me that something happens after we die, and my sense is it's pretty wild in a wonderful way, and I'm hoping that that is true. I happen to think that by the time we're on our 20,000th report from these folks who have these near-death experiences that all sound relatively similar, that we should start believing them, the same way Thomas Jefferson believed Lewis and Clark when they told him what was up north.
Interesting. Do you have a previous religious background, upbringing, and do those people that have near-death experience, with that many, when you brought up in a religious background with the Bible, all of these near-death experiences are, a little contrary to what that suggests.
They're contrary in the most wonderful way.
Yes, they are.
What shines so brightly afterward is you realize this whole fire and brimstone BS, forgive me, is so obviously manufactured by man. It so perfectly fits into the small mind of man. It's so classically the work of a little person, not the work of a God. And the rather astounding, impossible to put language to, beautiful, ineffable experience these people report in death fits much more with the grandeur of something one would call God. Afterward, it seems so easy to determine which view is made up.
Yes. Desmond Tutu met with the Dalai Lama once, and he received criticism for that. Christian meeting Dalai Lama. And his reply was, I think my God is bigger than any one religion can contain. Speaks volumes to me.
I was up on the ceiling looking down at this body. And as I looked at my body, I felt as though it was just a piece of clothing. I had a fondness for it. I knew it. I had used it well, but I wasn't connected to it. And I felt no fear, no pain, no anxiety. I had no sense of time. The next thing I knew, it was as though I was going into a tunnel, and my mother, who had been dead for 15 years, was right at the tunnel. And she was beautiful and whole and vibrant and healthy, and she did not die that way. And her arms were outstretched to me, and we communicated telepathically, so our mouths didn't move, but I thought, and she received, and she thought, and I heard. And I was not able to tell her I loved her before she died, and I said, I love you. And she said, I know. And I knew that she had always been with me. We had never been apart. And so with that, I was drawn into a tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel was a pinpoint of light, and I couldn't do anything but go toward it. And so I went toward this light, and as I got to this light, it became bigger and brighter, almost like looking into the sun, but it wasn't painful to look into this light. Bliss doesn't come close to the word, but I knew in that moment that I was forgiven for anything I thought was unforgivable. I was loved beyond all measure in a way that I'd never been loved before. And the light was in front of me, and then the light was around me, and then I was in the light, and then I knew I was the light. And I was home. Home.
Okay, the story I'm going to tell you, it's going to be what actually happened to me, and I'll be honest, when I first started my life, I'd heard about the God that would be mean and vengeful, and you'd sin, you'd go to hell, and then he created me where I was weak, and I'd give in to temptations. I had a chip on my shoulder. What kind of God is this, that he promises you absolutely nothing, and he asks everything of you? I found out he gives us everything and asks absolutely nothing of us. The gift is that profound. And what happened is we had a Huey shot up, got shot up pretty bad. We took 100 and something hits. So we crashed, and things started getting kind of gray on me. I said, God, please don't let me die. Please don't let me die. I was terrified. And then things went black, pitch black. And then the unique things started happening. I started feeling pretty good. And I said, what's happening to me? And I realized I was actually in the physical process of dying. And at that point, I stopped being afraid. I don't know how other people die, but for me, I thought dying was a horrible, painful, terrible thing, and it was actually incredibly pleasant. And as I was fading back, all of a sudden you hear about the bright light. The brightest thing that you can imagine is a dark hole compared to the bright light that I saw. And I'm laying there in this beautiful bright light. God is the light, but He's love. What exactly is God? One thing, He is literally made up of love. And I start feeling that love around me. And the light's getting brighter and brighter. I'm expanding out. And as I'm expanding out, I'm wondering what's going on. Then I start feeling this presence. And it was God. And He let me know that He's now surrounding me, protecting me. And I'm expanding out. And words I tell you were words. He didn't speak to me. He made His thought known to me. Like, I'll say red. And all of a sudden, you'll see the color red in your head. Or I'll say apple and you visualize an apple. So His thoughts were made known to me. And as I'm expanding out, He said to me in my interpretation, He said, you will expand out into the cosmos and know all these things. And I was given power that was immeasurably more powerful than I ever imagined God to be. And I was still cocky, I was still myself. I remember kind of puffing my chest up saying, I'm a super God. Not disrespect for God, but I'm a super God. We cannot comprehend what we're going to become. It's immeasurably more powerful than God is, that we think He is. As I'm kind of getting kind of cocky, God made His thought known to me, and He gave me a vision. He's holding me in His hands like a premature infant. This is what you are. And I felt His proudness like a parent feels a child when they're first born. And I'm thinking, well, this is confusion. He sees me as a little child. I felt His emotions. I felt He was proud of me. Here's this new infant coming into His world. But I'm still the super God. And then He smiled, and I felt Him smile. He said, even in this state that you were in, you cannot begin to comprehend what I am. We can't comprehend what we're going to be, and He's still infinitely more powerful and loving and caring than that. So that kind of put me back in my place. As I'm experiencing all these things, the one that really surprised me was His love. I'd say take a dictionary and take all the bad words out, regrets, sorrow, fear, embarrassment. They're not there. There is absolutely nothing in heaven that is bad. It's 100% pure love and happiness. All the things that I did in my past, you could remember them, but they were all forgiven. It's like I made you that way for a reason which was not made known to me. His love was so strong, I literally felt it. Being in the air when it's calm, you know the air is there, but you can't feel it. Then you soak in a warm bath, warm water, you can feel that. God's love was so strong, I literally felt it. And I thought, this isn't a mean, vengeful God. I remember the way I grew up, people cower and they stand in the back of their church. I'm not worthy of being up front near God. Well, I had good, loving parents, and when I met my dad, we'd hug each other. I didn't cower up to my dad. Well, God doesn't want us to cower in front of Him. He created us strictly to love. He has one need that I thought I felt. He needs to love. That's why He created all this stuff. He didn't create us so He could lord over us and dominate over us and make us feel inferior. He wants to love us. And I thought, that's not the God that I grew up knowing. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
I'm staring ahead and I see this little tiny, tiny, tiny glimmer of light. And as I'm staring at it, it starts to grow. And as it's starting to grow, I know that whatever this is, it's okay. I'm going to be fine. And there's something from this light pulling me, coaching me, and pulling me towards it. And as I'm getting closer, the light is getting brighter and bigger. And before I realize it, I'm now in the midst of it. It is everywhere. It's everything I can see and experience. It's everywhere. It's not white. It's a color we don't have a name for. It's a color we don't have a reference for. It's a color that has more feeling to it than experiencing color. It has a luminescence to it that we don't have. It's brilliant. But it's so gentle. And I guess that's the dichotomy. You know, it's so huge and magnificent and wondrous, and yet it's so gentle. and so loving. And that's the feeling. You're just stepping into this sense of unconditional love. And I'm floating through the opening. And as I'm coming out the other end, I'm just feeling this unconditional love radiating to me and through me and around me. I felt cherished in a deeper way than I knew you could experience. It's like coming home. It's like coming home in a way I had never experienced in life. Coming home to myself. I felt like everything was right and all right, and that nothing mattered except being in the presence of this experience. And all of this information that came, when you cross over, you're privy to all of the universal information. You are connected to all there is and all that is. We are an extension of God. I grew up believing and being taught that we are created in the image and likeness of God. Well, I'm here to tell you it's a hell of a lot bigger than that. We were created so that the Creator could experience everything that we experience. We were created out of love, and the Creator's always got our back, and all is well no matter what it looks like. All is well. What we don't realize is that the ego feels insecure continuously because the ego has no connection to God, to love. And so it's always coming from anxiety and fear. And our job is to stop listening to that litany of junk that it's spewing at us because it's not the truth of who we are. We are these perfect children of God. And everything we say or do affects everybody else in the world. It's like throwing a pebble into water. The ripples just go out and we don't realize it. We're that powerful and that synergistically connected.
I was aware that there was a light, and I began to move towards that light, and I moved into a place that people report to be the tunnel. To me, it was simply a place of transition. And I moved through this place, and I realized what moved me through this place was not what moves us physically. You know, when we move physically, we have an intent, and then we decide to take an action. We express that physically. What I found moved me through the tunnel was not an intent, not a decision, not a will. What moved me was love. And this was the love of all loves, the greatest of loves, the love of God. I moved into what appeared to be a sea of light. I entered the heart of the light, and it was as if I were devastated by ecstasy, and I was accompanied now by a presence. And I was called to recount for the deeds of my life. And this recounting for the deeds of one's life is not like we would think at all. Because what was important, more important than just the choices that I made, were my motivations and really the state of my heart in doing any single action. And I realized how every action that one takes is like a stone cast in the water. And if it's loving, that stone goes out and touches the first person that it's intended for. And then it touches another person, and then it touches another person because that person interacts with other people, and so on and so on. And every action has a reverberating effect upon every single one of us on the face of this planet. So if I had committed a loving action, it was like love upon light. A purely loving action was the most wonderful thing that I could ever achieve in my life. This had more meaning than to have been a Rockefeller or President of the United States, or to have been a great scientist and to have invented something just incredible. If I had committed a truly pure and loving action, it had reverberated throughout every individual on the planet. And I felt that action reverberating through them and through myself. Suddenly I realized that it was love that had brought me into existence. It was love that had guided me through every instant of my life. And really there was nothing that I could have done to have been worthy of that love, that unspeakable, incomprehensible, immeasurable love that I realized that I was receiving and that all individuals were receiving. So to have committed any act of love was the greatest joy and the greatest wonder and the greatest achievement. And to have committed any act that was selfish and that was in any way cruel, you can imagine the impact of that act reverberating throughout all existence. I became aware that we now existed on the precipice of the greatest choice and the greatest step in our development and evolution that had ever occurred on the face of the planet. We as a human race existed at this point, and that we had to make the choice as individuals to establish unity and peace and harmony on the face of this planet.
I had this incredible experience of moving up into a misty sort of area and then becoming aware that I was in a tunnel. It was totally peaceful. It was a place of absolute compassion, of understanding.
Immediately, what struck me was the feeling of love coming through from this place that I was in and coming through me, and this acceptance and welcoming. The voice I heard inside of me that said, "You are my child, welcome home. You are loved beyond all measure." I lost it. I started crying because it was so welcoming. I mean, I said, "I don't believe in you. How come I'm here?" And again, the message was, you belong here. This is your home.
There was no judgment. There was no atonement. There was nothing that I had ever done that was completely forgiven. And forgiven in that context meant it was gone. I've tried to think of adjectives to describe this, the intensity of this love. Unconditional, pure, powerful. The only one that I can think of that works is infinite. It was infinite love. Wave after wave of cleansing white love washing over me. There was this, what I can only call a download. It was like billions of questions were answered in just a moment. Just all of creation opened up and shimmered. And I understood. And the odd thing about it was that it wasn't like I learned it. It was more like remembering, more like that. I already knew all the answers to all these billions of questions. There is no way that the universe, that creation could possibly unfold without you fulfilling your purpose. And I know a lot of people struggle with that. What's my purpose? You know, why am I here? Sometimes it seems kind of pointless. Like, I go to my stupid job and I got my stupid boss. I go home and I watch TV and there's got to be something more, right? And I've heard lots of answers to that about purpose. I've heard minister after guru, after priest, after pastor, after teacher make the claim that our purpose here is to learn and grow and learn lessons and move to the next level. But I was told what my purpose was and what your purpose is, and it had nothing to do with learning or growing or moving to the next level. I was told very clearly what our purpose is, and your purpose is to love. It's that simple. Hard to pull off cleanly, but you are here to love.